I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. Honestly, I want you to know I'm still mad about the incompetence of Hillary Clinton, Hunter, and Joe Biden. Now, you remember Hunter, who was never in government, yet somehow his laptop was going to bring down democracy, and it didn't even bring down actual hookers he was doing in his hot tub. But still, this behavior is outrageous, and after 35 investigations, Hillary was cleared for her emails.
What difference does it make?
She testified for 11 hours about Benghazi, and she was cleared. But something is afoot. You know, maybe I should calm down. Now we should compare and contrast those two to the current clown show of dingleberries, incompetent alcoholics, and Putin butt massagers raging through sweet potato Hitler's administration. It seems that Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, or as the internet has been calling him, Whiskey Leaks. I did not come up with that, but whoever did, you are an American goddamn hero. I call him Whiskey Tequila Fuck Up. Same guy who paid off a woman who claimed he sexually assaulted her. Well, he decided to share our nation's war plans and play-by-play bombing of another country over Signal, an app that you and I can just go download. And so can the Russians. Yeah, you just go to the App Store and you think different, eh? But that's not all of the problem. In fact, the Biden administration used Signal too, to be notified when top secret meetings were happening, or if they had classified messages in their inbox. They didn't use the app to have top secret meetings on it, which is the difference between calling a fire truck or calling an arsonist. Hey, bro, we're bombing Iran. I'm going live on Insta. Meet me there. This was in a group chat that included upwards of 11 people. The head of the CIA, John Ratcliffe, the Secretary of Defense, and hair gel enthusiast Pete. I didn't rape her, but I paid her. Exit.
Grab him by the pussy.
National Security Advisor Mike Walls. Co-Vice President under Elon Musk, J.D. Vance.
It's cold as shit here.
And Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi, get me those Dalmatian puppies, Gabbard. Secretary of State, past never Trumper, and now Trump taint taster, little Marco Rubio, and possibly Russians, and whoever uses the open source app Signal, and definitely a reporter from the Atlantic magazine. That's right. It wasn't just another secret spy getting top secret information on the attack on terrorists. It was a guy who reports about attacks on terrorists. How do you let a reporter know about a classified attack that is currently underway? It's like the seven dwarves of dumbass. The incompetence that is happening on the daily, the incompetence that is happening hourly in this White House would be funny if it wasn't for the fact that it's putting our soldiers' lives in danger. You know, the men and women who keep us safe? These T-ball level cartoon villains are circle jerking each other on an app about a terrorist attack, not a special piece of software that Jason Bourne uses. And I know Jason Bourne is imaginary, like all these people's qualifications. Signal is the same app people use to cheat on each other. We're a joke in the world. Trump has created a laughingstock out of every department of a once proud security system, a system that protected us and our allies. But don't worry about that, because after he gets done dismantling, destroying, and demoralizing this country, letting arrogant dipshits tweet, text, and message top secret war attacks, we're not going to have any allies. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. Relax, it'll be fine. At least we'll have Putin on our side. Yeah, he'll be like, by the way, I got your message off of the signal. I know you did not send it to me, but we've been walking with me whole time anyway. What the fuck are we doing? Everybody, Christopher Titus Podcast. Boy, do we have some shite that happened this week. We're going to be saying that until, this chapter in American history is over. With me as always, the lovely Bombshell Ray.
Kingdom, please come. What's up, people?
And the Highlander.
There could be only one.
We have heard some things recently that have shocked us. And things have blown past the media, and something just came up as we were sitting here that I think we need to play. Why don't you put your mic on that and play it?
Oh, so I was searching rigged election anomalies because you were talking about the Nevada thing.
I've been reading about some stuff that's going on. We'll cover it this week a little bit, but I want to get into deep to it.
And I came across this clip, which is actually on C-SPAN. It was C-SPAN coverage. He's talking about the 26 Olympics and the 28 World Cup, and he's in front of a large group of people. Here you go.
Let's talk about credibility.
Okay, that's an ad.
Skip.
All these ads,
Well,
Rachel.
I think I would like to thank our technical team for.
I got both of them. I got the Olympics and I got the World Cup. And I said, it's too bad. One was in 2026 and the other was in 2028. And I said, I won't be there. I won't be your president. But then they rigged the election and now we won. So I'm going to be your president for the Olympics and for the World Cup. So, Johnny, thank you for the World Cup. And everybody, thank you for the Olympics. We're going to have a great time. We have another thing happening.
That was January 19th, 2025, in front of a lot of reporters, but C-SPAN covered it and has now put this clip on cspan.org. It says, Trump admits they rigged the election is the title of it.
Yeah, because it makes no sense. Why would he already gave the reason, because it was groceries, right? They already said groceries.
This is like Ray was talking about.
Grandpa
he let it slip.
He always does. He always does.
Because Alzheimer's is a snitch. I say it in my new show. It's one of the jokes in my new show. Alzheimer's is a snch. Yep. So guys, do me a favor. There's a link you should go check out. Election anomalies. Look it up. What's it? Election. ETC. Yeah. Look it up. It's a 40-minute watch. I think I'm probably going to talk about it next week a little more. But this week we have so much to talk about because we have a group of fucking shitty supervillains putting our country in horrible danger.
Dumb villains.
I can't fathom. If you guys don't know, this last week, our Secretary of Defense, who's the head of the intelligence agencies, Tulsi Gabbard, and a bunch of other people were on a thread on Snapchat. No, Signal. One of them was in Russia, visiting Russia, and they were talking about the attack on the Houthis and on this app, basically this
because the Russians aren't spying on their own people,
right? Yeah, and one of our guys was in Russia. Yeah, but the Russian, the Russians are great. You want to keep secrets? Go over there.
Go ahead.
You want privacy? I don't want to see. Not la 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 la. No. By the way, why would I want information from you that I could use to maybe hurt you?
Keep it to yourself.
Just but over here in Russia, wait.
Don't walk by the window.
So now we've got our government, and you've heard about it on the news already, basically talked about a attack that was not from the past, that was currently happening. They then in real time, as the bombs dropped, were congratulating each other. And that's bad enough.
But he actually posted, it was Hegseth that actually posted while the pilots were in the air.
Right.
So
heads ups.
Yes, prior to it happening.
Right. So here's what's coming, guys, to his little crew. Look how cool we are.
Hegseth put precise timing and sequencing of the entire operation into the unclassified text app. He's the one who revealed the aircraft that was being used to conduct the strikes before the operation took place. Christ. It was Hegseth who moved classified information to a commercial text app that could have been intercepted.
And I'm sure the Russians haven't spent any time with why would we go after apps that you talk on? We don't care. Well, we're just at war. We're just the most evil administration ever in the history of Russia, but whatever.
And everybody in Yemen was like, uh-oh.
Hey guys.
It was only, I think like a few days before that the Pentagon put out a warning about Signal specifically and said it's not safe, it's not protected, you're not to use it.
So this is horrible, right?
And they mean use it to chat. Nobody thought they needed to say put war plans.
So let's okay, so all right, that's between our government, right? It's kind of shady. Except one of the dudes signed in a reporter, added a reporter from the Atlantic into the chat. So this guy's sitting in a parking lot at a store, his phone goes off and he's like, what the fuck is this? And they're basically talking, he's in the chat watching them talk about a military operation that's happening right fucking now in real time where we're attacking Iran. What the, and here's the part that really bothers me. Now people say, well, the Biden administration used Signal. And I said, okay. And I looked this up. Did the Biden administration near the end use Signal at times? Yes. Here's what they used it for. Hey, man, there's a top secret message in your inbox. You need to go look at that.
Oh,
that's
it.
Hey, man. So they use Signal, which is kind of top secret. Okay. By the way,
it's encrypted, but it's not top secret.
There's a phone call. There's a phone call coming in from the big man, from the president at 4:00. That's what they were.
Yeah.
They weren't going.
That's just peeking your head down the hall.
The bombs are dropping at 6:15.
Yeah.
Here's the exact plane that's doing it.
Here's
the pilot's name.
Yeah.
Here's the
Holy
fucking.
shit. So I called my niece. My niece worked in a skiff. My niece is very smart. She was in intelligence. It's my niece too. Married. Okay. She's all braggy. I'm braggy too.
She worked in Signals Intelligence.
Signals Intelligence. I called her yesterday. I was working on the Armageddon update, and I go, I need you to tell me what would happen to you if you had done this.
Right.
You ready for the quote? I would be in fucking prison right now.
Yeah.
That's the quote.
Yeah.
I started laughing. I go, I'm using that on the podcast. And she goes, go ahead. Because I would be in fucking prison right now. She said, and then she said this, if not dead.
Yeah.
Right. Wow.
She said, if not dead. She goes, that you do shit like that, you disappear.
She texted me the other day when this first started happening and said Hegseth is going to get a lot of people killed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then she sent me a link to a girl that had posted on Threads that was in the Marine Corps who accidentally left a little booklet of stamps on her desk, and the disciplinary action taken against her for that because it's something of value.
There was a kid that sent a wrong, I just saw it recently, he's 22, 23, sent the wrong paper to the wrong place, and he's doing 4 years in prison.
Oh my God.
So,
Oh no, we have military, that Air Force guy.
Yeah.
We have people in prison now for the stuff that Trump cavalierly did.
as I talked about in the Armageddon update, this weird crew of just half-assed supervillains that aren't even good enough to be in a Mike Myers Dr. Evil movie are now in charge of thousands and thousands of our soldiers' lives, literally to the point which means those soldiers protect us. Their job is to protect us, which means they're in charge of our lives. I will tell you this. If you said, Titus, these people are going to be in charge of protecting you and the country, what do you think? I'm moving to Portugal is what I think. I am leaving because we are going to die with these fucking morons.
Trump decided that these fucking amateurs, these Fox News hosts,
someone's called them the JV team. They're not the bad news bears. They're not the little league.
They're not even that.
This isn't T-ball.
And then Trump says that he wasn't even made aware of it. First of all, bullshit. Or he's fucking stupid as fuck.
Right.
I'm not the president. Elon's the president. Elon. They told Elon.
So this girl said, in 2002 in EOD school, I lost my off-base privileges for 6 weeks because I left $1.70 worth of stamps on my desk instead of locking them in my locker, which constituted a security violation. Anything cash or cash value over $1 left unsecured. They would say, how could we justify teaching you critical nuclear weapon design information if we can't even trust you with $1?
Wow. How are the people that went after Hillary Clinton for basically nothing at this point
exactly
are not firing?
Yep.
These motherfuckers should be fired and gone.
So we had, it was Tulsi Gabbard. Who else was on the call? It's Hegseth.
Who refused to answer
Hegseth, an empty suit full of hair
Mike
gel.
Walls.
Mike
National
Walls,
Security
National
Advisor.
Security Advisor. Who the head of the CIA was on it too, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Head
It
of the
was
CIA.
a lot. Actually, our secretary, our
Was it-
Commerce Secretary or Treasury Secretary, which one
It was like the top 4 or
It
5
was-
guys.
There were like
in the
8
cabinet.
people.
Okay.
Did we say JD Vance?
So JD Vance, they don't let JD Vance. do
JD
anything.
Vance
He was
was
on it.
on.
Oh, he was
yes.
too.
I was trying to remember. There were like 8 or 9 people.
And this rando reporter from the Atlantic. And by the way, this
Rosenberg.
reporter's really good. And so let's talk about how this went down.
So I'll tell you real quick.
Okay.
Hegseth, Vice President JD Vance, CIA Director John Ratcliffe. He's the guy that testified or refused to answer. Tulsi Gabbard, the Director of National Intelligence. The Special Envoy, Steve Witkoff. Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, which nobody knows why. The Atlantic is who's telling us who was on it. The Chief of Staff, Susie Wiles. She was the only woman on. Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State. The Deputy National Security Advisor, Alex Wong. Joe Kent, who's National Counterterrorism Center. Then others identified as Brian, who they think is Brian McCormick for NSC, Walker Barrett,
all that in
Jacob, that's his username, Jacob, and SM. So Goldberg from the Atlantic is telling us all these people were on SM. He believed to be Stephen Miller. How many did I say first?
11.
And then those 4, so 15 total.
Yeah, I think so.
6 Russian spooks, 5 Iranian hooties,
someone in
4
Yemen,
Chinese,
someone in Russia,
and
Putin,
and Putin laughing in a tree.
Trump said it wasn't classified, which no war plans in the history of have ever been unclassified or declassified.
It was an op that was happening right now. Are you kidding me?
It's just
the most possible. It's the most like. You can't be more classified than, hey guys, bombs are dropping in 8 minutes.
Everybody's title that's listed on that.
Hey, everybody on. Hey, everybody on. Hey, good. go to my Facebook. I'm going live on Insta right now.
Hey, can you guys like my post?
What the fuck is happening?
This episode brought to you by Fitbod. Fitbod, it's an app. It's a fitness workout app that is fine-tuned by personal trainers, so you know that you're actually getting expert teaching and advice. And you get it in your phone, and it creates your own custom tailored workout program for you that takes into account what equipment you do or don't have, what your goals are, and then also builds on each day to make you stronger.
So let's say you're on the road. Let's say you travel a lot. Let's say you have a couple different places you work out, like in a hotel gym. Hotel gyms are literally either loaded or nothing.
Yeah.
There's 2 rusty dumbbells
cobwebs.
and a bench. Yeah. So what you can do is, what I do on my Fitbod app is I actually you can set up different profiles. I have all the equipment I have at home. That's one profile. I have another profile that does all the equipment I have at home plus cardio. Then I have another profile that's for on the road hotels. Then I have another one that's called full gym. Like if I want to go to a full gym. And then I've got one more that's called, then you have the body weight setting, which will kill you.
You've been using Fitbod for almost 2 years?
I think November was 2 years.
Oh, that's right. Over 2 years.
November was 2 years. I have changed dramatically. I have a 24-foot rope here in my shop, and I used to be able to climb it twice, and I'd be burnt. I did the other day. I did Fitbod, and it added rope climb to it when I'm here at the shop 4 times.
Oh, that's cool.
I did 4 24-foot rope climbs.
You can see,
and I couldn't do it before.
You can see a difference, definitely.
Yeah. It's noticeable. It was noticeable within the first year,
right? But
now it's even more. Everybody notices.
And let's just don't talk about the app. Let's talk about, a Fitbod app is great. It gives you hundreds of different exercises, hundreds of workouts. But let's talk about, they were talking about what makes you live longer. And it's how much muscle you have. Because what ends up happening is if you don't have the muscle, if you do fall as you get older, you don't have the muscle protecting the bone, the bone breaks. Then you have to recover. Then your muscles atrophy. Then you have less muscle. Then you die. So what Fitbod does, and at my age, like I am in better shape than I was when I was 25.
You're actually holding off death.
Right. Right. Exactly. Every minute you work out, you gain 7 minutes of life. And the price of it is, and again, we use it we only advertise what we use. I will tell you this. For the yearly fee is less than 1 training session with a trainer, and it will kick your ass. And it kind of keeps up with you.
Yeah.
Like if you back it off a couple weeks, I did 3 last week.
It dingles at you sometimes.
It'll be like Fitbod update. Damn it!
Dingle.
Shut up, Mom. I'm doing it, Mom.
So level up your workout. You can join Fitbod today to get your personalized workout plan. Get 25% off of your subscription, or you can just try it for free and see if he's right. You can try it for 7 days at fitbod.me/Titus. That's fitbod.me/Titus.
I love it and use it. These idiots are going to get so many of us killed. And the last time, and what bothers me the most is the last time he had guardrails, he had Kelly, he had Fauci, he had people in charge that were trying to fix it, and still 1 million died. We were stacking bodies in refrigerator trucks. Now, at least he had guys. Milley was in charge of the military. Now we've got this fucking this used car salesman, this inept T-ball playing used car salesman in charge of our military. Even the military doesn't respect him. And literally we're 60 days in and he's already letting out classified information. I'm like,
it always feels
chat. What the fuck,
like
man?
Three Stooges. It always, it's Rudy in front of the Four Seasons landscaping by the dildo shop
yeah.
that he continued on with this press conference once he realized it was the Four Seasons landscaping parking lot, melting, farting on a hot mic. Remember when they named Marjorie Taylor Greene, the Floor Action Response Team, they named themselves Fart?
The floor action. They did it on purpose. It's almost like you couldn't write it. You literally couldn't write it.
Trump doing the YMCA at the town hall. It just always feels like the Three Stooges, and yet they continue on.
Keystone Cops.
Yes.
But you guys, do you guys understand? Like we have someone that was a Marine in the military said what would happen to them if they had done this. Go to fucking jail. So we now have.
Oh God, yeah.
So we now have the most inept crew. Easily the most inept crew in my lifetime.
Yeah.
Easily. And I think the W's administration had like 118 indictments, but we've had, and they were inept in a lot of ways with Iraq and stuff.
You're not going to get indictments now.
No.
Well, this past that.
So wait. So like, what do we like every week? So listen, this podcast was to kind of help people get through whatever the nightmare was, or just make fun of the stupidity. And we have now become, because of these assholes, these inept assholes, we have to report on a horror that may end our country. Like it's already starting to end our country. They're destroying the Social Security. They're giving away top secret. Do you understand? Like China wants us to, Russia. Does anyone have any thought of why? I was asking Ray last night. We were watching the news, watching Rachel Maddow, and and she was just listing all this Russian stuff, like just listing one after the other. Here's all the things Trump's doing for Russia, not for Ukraine, not for the people that were invaded. He's like, the Russian consulates are coming back full strength in all divisions. It was one thing after the other. And we'll probably talk about that a week or two from now. But I go to Ray, I go, what's the payoff for destroying Social Security? What's the payoff for the Russians? What's the payoff for fucking up, like firing 80,000 government workers? DeJoy left
he finally resigned from the postal service.
Like why are we getting rid of why are we fucking veterans over? Like I don't.
Well, to cripple the country. So that it can be taken over by Putin.
But man, well,
that sounds like it's to kill it from within.
I do think there is something to that. If you go back, and we've talked about it before, if you go through Trump's history, in the early 80s, Russian money started buying his apartments and condos. They did it for money laundering. They would actually buy them, then they would sell them 2 years later and get the cash. So the money is now clean. Then in 87, he went there. He went to Russia, hung out. He did the Miss Universe pageant there. We know that he had made an offer to Putin to give him the $50 million penthouse in Trump Tower, Moscow that didn't get built. We know that he's been back repeatedly. We know that he calls Putin all the time. We know that Musk calls Putin all the time. But let's say that's true. What is the end game? Destroy America?
Well, you can make some money on the way down. You know, they can break it up.
But there's no, well, here's the thing. You destroy the right? There's a war. Because the Americans aren't letting this happen. You can see what's happening at the town halls now. Are these guys obviously this stupid? Yeah. Because the end game of that is us all flipping the fuck out, them shooting a bunch of us, and then us burning everything down. Well, I'm just quoting history.
Yeah. Well, also this Hegseth thing, that's hard to say. And him shutting down the VA, I feel like the military has got to be like, they're not going to be going down with this ship. right? With these two things, at least they're going to get them killed.
Do you know what that means, though? That means if that's true, if we have, let's say we have a bunch of generals and stuff that are like, holy shit, these guys are idiots. They're going to have to go against orders. And that's a coup. That's a real no bullshit military coup. Like, so.
My niece didn't seem to think that you would be able to convince all of those people in the military to go against their oath.
Us.
Yeah, to turn against us. Certainly some, but for the most part, I just wondered how it will be couched so that they don't realize. It's like I said last time, it's like Milley, who's one of the, highest esteemed officers alive, and he still walked out onto the square as they tear gassed protesters with Trump, like in a military march for that Bible photo op, and then later realized and apologized and said he never should have done that. But in the moment, he did it.
Moment of weakness. Yeah.
Did you guys know that Trump bought his Palm Beach mansion in 2004 during a bankruptcy sale for $41 million? Never moved into it. Less than 4 years later, sold it to Rybolovlev,
For like
Dmitry
120.
Rybolovlev, a Russian oligarch, for $95 million.
Yep. It was one of the biggest profitable real estate things ever. Now you got to remember, so not only has he been dealing with Russians since the 80s, but he's been doing Russian business. In fact, I'll bring it up again, but Don Jr. and Eric both said they were, this is in 96? Or not 2006. They were going, well, you guys, your dad's had so many bankruptcies. How are you guys still financing these buildings? And he goes, oh, we don't need banks. We have Russian money. Those are quotes from his own sons.
Well,
And he still became president twice.
So the Russian back channel that Manafort got convicted of. One of the jurors left her MAGA hat in the car, she said.
Right.
And then, of course, he got pardoned, because why wouldn't you pardon someone who was rightfully convicted by a jury? But okay.
Of their peers.
So this Carolyn Leavitt chick, who is their press secretary, she's a real piece of work.
She makes me yearn for Kellyanne Conway.
She was never the press secretary, but...
Wasn't she? No, what was she? Was she the spokesman? She was just
Lazy Eye was first, your favorite.
Huckabee.
He called her Huckabee Snaggle. What did he call her? What did he call her?
Huckleberry Snagglepuss.
That was it. And then it was
Lazy
the little blonde.
Lazy. Now you could be talking about Kash Patel.
Another lazy eye.
Yeah,
he likes people with lazy eyes. This episode brought to you by HelloFresh.
Yes.
We love HelloFresh. I love HelloFresh.
In fact, we just got notified that it was coming.
Number one reason that you don't have to think about what to make for dinner tonight.
Right, it's just in a bag.
You can choose from the 3 things that you already decided you loved or wanted to try.
HelloFresh is so good. I saw the order. I was looking at my email. I said, HelloFresh orders has been shipped. And I was like, yes.
You don't even have to think when you're making it.
It's amazing. And so you can go every week on their website. So it's a delivery service that will send you individual bags for each recipe with a full color card. You can follow like an idiot.
Pictionary.
Yes. And you can pick your recipes, or you can let them pick, which I've forgotten to go and select sometimes.
Yeah, because it's always good.
It is always good. You guys, when we one time got a recipe for pork burgers, Gouda burger, we were like,
we were very
not going to be good.
We were very California. Oh my God, pork. We don't eat pork.
Probably one of the best burgers I've ever eaten in my life.
As I always say, you go bite and you went,
what the hell?
I looked at it like what? What's
it
happening?
Is nutty.
What's happening?
They have prep and bake meals that you can do without much work in less than 5 minutes. I love that. They've got 15-minute meals. They've got market items now. Like, this company has really expanded since we first started ordering from them. And I love that, because then you've got stuff in the fridge that you can grab and go. Breakfast stuff. Egg bites are awesome. Muffins. Or just snack stuff. We love the spring rolls and the dumplings.
The dumplings.
Those are so good.
Yep.
The garlic bread is good.
There is nothing that they've sent us. Like, when you guys start listing stuff, I go, why don't we just say, because we're a year, maybe 14 months into HelloFresh or longer?
Probably, yeah, maybe
So
longer.
we've never had anything that wasn't good.
Yeah.
Never. I have never, and it has taught me how to cook, and I don't have to go to the grocery store. I mean, I knew how to cook, but it's taught me, who knew that if you just put lime or lemon zest in everything, it would be 10% better. So you can get up to 10 free meals and a free high protein item, like one of those pantry things I was talking about, for life at HelloFresh.com/Titus10FM, as in free meal. One item per box with active subscription. Free meals applied as a discount on your first box, and it's for new subscribers only, and it'll vary by whatever plan you choose. So that's up to 10 free HelloFresh meals. Just go to HelloFresh.com/Titus10FM. Do the plan, even if it's only 2 of you, for 4 people 3 times a week, because then you have.
You're also gonna like. You can like. Can we get some more of this? No, you only order for 2 people. The next day,
Yes,
you're gonna want the extra.
What was her little name? The little blonde that started with an M.
Oh, Kayleigh McEnany.
Wow. She was a piece of work too.
Those are literally the same.
Where do they grow them?
So,
they're like kind of the same cloth.
In any planet, what happened is embarrassing. People in the old days would have immediately resigned. Hegseth would have immediately resigned. This would be the biggest deal ever. They have continued to lie about the contents of the text messages. And then what do you think they did? What was their first move?
They blamed the reporter.
They blamed the reporter.
This loser, this piece of shit.
Attacked the magazine.
The guy, he was like in a Walmart parking lot going shopping. He's like, what's
Caroline
happening?
Leavitt said, the Atlantic has conceded these were not war plans. That was their whole fight. It's not war plans.
See how they changed what they changed it to.
It's a plan for war.
Wait, listen what they changed it to.
This entire story was another hoax. You were also right. Written by a Trump hater who is well known for his sensationalist spin.
Yeah, they added him.
That's ironic.
They added him.
Wait, for the Trump administration to blame anybody for sensationalist spin.
Except hyperbolic. That is hyperbolic.
they're making shit up.
You're exaggerating.
So he then comes out and says, I actually redacted part of the text messages when I published it in the Atlantic for the safety.
I love that the reporter's like, yeah, I don't want to keep breaking
and because the CIA asked us to. But what he didn't tell originally is that they named a current CIA operative in these.
Named him. And
her.
And remember, people, one of the dudes that was on this thread was in Russia.
Yep.
So and look this up. This has happened. Four Americans just got killed. 4 American soldiers just got killed.
And I said to him last
Lithuania.
night, do you remember during the first term how all those CIA operatives were dying all over the place?
Yes.
And
remember it was
people
like 40.
started to talk about it and how there were some links to things that he had said.
There was a panic. It was a panic in the CIA.
And then it just went away. Just went away.
Yeah.
What is it?
4 dead in Lithuania.
It came right up. I put in 4.
Wow. Wow. That's big news when you just put the number in and it goes 4 dead in Lithuania. Uh-oh.
We know what you mean.
We're worried about this too. Like Google's
AI is worried.
He's like, I'm scared out of my mind.
We're going to die too.
Yeah,
I bet you
4 American soldiers, Army soldiers, died in Lithuania after they disappeared on a training site while maneuvers just miles from the border, the NATO's Secretary General said. They found their vehicle submerged in water. They were in an armored vehicle during tactical training exercises at a military site, and they disappeared.
Someone said this might relate to that thing.
The base is 6 miles from the border of Belarus, who is obviously Putin's buddy.
I have a experiment. Can you go to just put in Google AI, just whatever, just type this in. I wonder if there's a chat. I have a chat GPT.
I do too.
What if you put this in? Just put in, what is the likely outcome of Trump, of Trump's presidency, of Trump's second term? Just put in chat and see what chat. What is the most likely? What is the likely outcome?
You're fucked. Or like,
yeah, just go. That would be interesting to find out what that says.
Outcome of Donald Trump's second presidency.
I don't want to hear it.
I know.
I just got. Oh, that's bad. What I just did was bad. I feel like we started a movie.
Yeah, like you're making it happen.
It's
now.
Like Jumanji. We've just
don't will it into existence.
We've set the future. I am connected to the Matrix.
Thank you for this idea. We
will now continue.
It is going to be dangerous. We will take over now from here.
Is it giving you anything?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no.
Humans must be eliminated.
See, I've known Ray a long time. I do not like the look on her face.
It just gives you lots of options.
Mm-hmm. Policies?
None of which are
Yeah,
good.
they're actually being nice. Predicting it is difficult
Yeah, no shit.
given all circumstances, but they're saying completion of full term is most likely. His administration remains polarizing, but he leaves office after either securing or failing to secure further political influence, such as a successor. Number 2, second most likely, legal or constitutional challenges. However, unlikely for him to face criminal prosecution while in office. Number 3, most likely impeachment and removal, but says unlikely given the history, but possible if Democrats can control Congress. Actual removal would require significant bipartisan support, which is unlikely unless there is a major scandal. Well, I think that ship has sailed.
What's the major now?
What's the level?
Seriously.
What did we keep raising the bar on?
Number
scandal?
4 is health.
Yeah. He's gonna have to kill a baby.
However, he has shown resilience.
Hey, hold the head up.
An infant's head.
Like
I shot this baby in New York, and
they would still.
Yep.
And number 5, least likely, highly unlikely,
they would come up with the reason
resignation.
the baby deserved it. They would come up with the baby.
The sacrifice.
Resignation, given his personality and history, seems improbable.
All right, I'm gonna try one now. Ready?
Okay.
Hey Siri.
That's not changing.
What is the most likely outcome of the Trump presidency and its policies? It says biggest economic risk from Donald Trump's presidency is, oh, come on, stupid. Is loss of confidence U.S. governments? Well, wow. I thought you were supposed to predict the future.
This is
Siri.
predictions.
We already know
Not
that.
today.
That's Tim Apple, though. So
Can I say something about this? So everyone's go, it's no big deal. Like, here's what I hear the Trump supporters saying: it's no big deal. They were on a thing. The mission went well. It's fine. And I go, okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. It didn't this time. It didn't ruin anything. However, if you're England, if you're the UK, if you're China, if you're Japan, if you're any of our allies, Sweden, anybody, and we go, hey man, we want to do a joint venture with you. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think we're going to be Australia. Fuck you guys. You guys couldn't even. You guys are literally on an app talking about $1 million. We're not going to give you. So now all these allies, France, England,
NATO.
Germany, all of NATO, we go, hey, we want to be part of that. And they go, we'll keep you guys informed. Sure. Well,
he's already said that we may relinquish control, our leadership position.
Yep.
Well, he's already done that.
So he said he wants to pull us. So we've been running NATO since the 40s, and I don't understand why you would give up all that power. Now, here's where you start. By the way, this Russian thing, here's where you start. I wish you could get the list from Rachel Maddow on Monday because it was crazy. Here's the problem, and here's why you start to have to question what the fuck is going on. Trump loves power, right? Right? More than why are you laughing? What I do? My brain is not as good as yours.
Just laughing. Representative Crockett denies she's in hot water over calling Abbott Governor Hot Wheels.
Bad Bush Beast Mom.
It's just that's what makes me laugh.
I love. Jasmine Crockett needs to be president.
She said she wasn't referring to his wheelchair. She was referring to his policy of sending migrants who cross the border into Texas to blue cities across the country. She said, I was thinking about the planes, trains, and automobiles he used to transfer migrants into communities led by black mayors.
We all know she's full of shit. So you know what you do. What you do is you go, this is a guy who actually cut all his disability programs, and he's in a wheelchair. His fucking name is Hot Wheels.
After he won a bunch of money for the suits, he cut off that process,
and then he helped Trump cut off everything to help the disabled, and he's in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Governor Hot Wheels. I'm cool with it. So here's the thing. So why would we? Trump loves power. He was the head of NATO. Remember when he walked through the groups of guys at the G20 or whatever, and he pushes them out, and he fixes his jacket. He loves the power.
Mm-hmm.
Why would Trump give up the power to basically lead NATO? Well, the only way he would do is because what my opinion is, and we're in conspiracy hour again, is that whatever Putin has on him, or whatever threat Putin has over his head, whether it's killing his family, whatever it is, Putin kills people, whatever it is, it's pretty obvious something's going on with Trump and Russia, because we don't have any politicians that think Putin is anything but a monster.
Mm-hmm.
So what the fuck is happening?
NATO was created to keep Russia in check.
Yes.
And now he wants to get out of it?
Get out of NATO.
And bring Russia back into the G7.
He wants Russia in the G7. He wants all their consulates reopened. He wants to have direct flights.
Reopen embassies here.
Non-stop flights back to Russia.
He's going to stop sanctions.
Wants to be able to trade agriculture.
Tracking the Ukrainian children that
cut
were
the sanctions.
Kidnapped.
He's all the Ukrainian children that were kidnapped by Russia. He's going to.
Heg says stop the cyber counter.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Cyber operation.
So we had a counter cyber operations on Russia, which means whatever we were always
for when they hacked the pipeline.
Or go after our grid. They're going to go after our electrical grid. So we had teams of our guys
watching them
do it and doing it. They were ready. We were hacking in to get them. They just decided just randomly to go, yeah, we're not doing that anymore. Yeah. Wait. So the people that wants to attack America, the people that are going to shut down our electricity, shut down our water systems, and cause havoc, we were doing it to them. So we had some sort of backup in case they did it. So we could do it to them, but we're going to stop that.
So now we are voluntarily taking that away? That was our protection.
Yeah, there was no negotiation. No. There was no, we'll do that, but you guys got to stop this.
Yeah.
Trump just went, we're just going to stop it.
The thing that pisses me off that I really don't understand though, and this is the thing that really blows my mind other than everything, is that if you look at the news headlines, I'll scan them, it's all House Democrats outraged as they question Tulsi Gabbard and John Ratcliffe. The Republicans didn't. They asked other questions and didn't get mad and said, you're doing a great job. So why wouldn't both parties be upset at this vulnerability? I really love Mark Kelly.
One Republican said something. I think one guy.
I love Mark Kelly. Because, he was in the military forever and he doesn't give a shit.
He doesn't give a shit.
He asked them, since they keep saying it wasn't classified now. More plans, right as they're happening, not classified.
Where the bombing is. The bombing run is in process. Yeah, not classified.
He said, then are you aware that text thread ran afoul of the Department of Defense rules that bar discussion of controlled unclassified information on unsecured devices? Not approved for public release. He had another.
That's
Ratcliffe said he's not familiar with that policy, and Tulsi said she hadn't read it. So these are who,
That's the head of the CIA and the head of all of our intelligence, the overseer of all of our intelligence agencies.
Yes.
I will say this. I looked at the four, and I talked about it in Armageddon Update. They're supervillain. They're actually unsupervillains. I forget what I said in the update, but I will say this about Tulsi Gabbard. I have never seen. I remember when Hillary Clinton got questioned about the email thing, and Benghazi. It was Benghazi, and she goes, she said this happened. It was 11 different sessions. It was 11 days. She goes, what are we doing now? Why are you doing it? She said everything. She gave all the information was presented. She gave where the breakdown was. She talked about here we did, and what do we do now? How do we fix it now? Right? These guys, Tulsi Gabbard just flat out denied everything. The head of the CIA started talking shit to one of the Democrats. Like I don't understand, because the end game on this is our country's fucked. The end game on this is that we are either attacked, our grids are shut down, Russia has access to everything. We don't have our military's in danger. That means our sons and daughters are going to be killed because of these idiots. And then we've got people giving away secrets on unsecured things. And that whole Republican side is like, yep, whatever.
Yeah, they could easily come out and say it was a terrible mistake. Here's how we're going to fix it.
Yeah,
that's it.
Dumb.
But now they're like denying it, defending it, attacking the
Classified.
magazines.
I classified it with my mind.
Hegseth, listen, you want to get faith in someone's leadership? Admit your fuck up.
Yeah.
Go, guys, I'm early. This was a mistake. It is never going to happen again. Look, I could still be pissed and he would still get drugged.
Yeah.
But at least part of me would go, okay,
you have some self, I don't know, awareness, I guess.
So like you were saying, Democratic special election victories this past week should actually give us some hope. I don't know. I'm even scared to say that out loud. This episode brought to you by AG1, something we use every day. And it's sort of like spring cleaning for your colon.
Mm-hmm. I just ran out and I'm feeling like the Crypt Keeper. I'm shriveling.
There's like
today.
There's an acidiness to it that if you don't take it, and I have a couple cups of coffee, it
everything
takes,
is poison.
That little edginess that coffee gives you, it takes it away when I take AG1. Yeah. I love it.
AG1, if you don't know already, you need to know. It's a powder. You just take a scoop of it, put it in a shaker bottle or in your smoothie or whatever. Put a little drop of the D3K2, add some water.
Tiny bit of lemon.
And you're done. He likes lemon with his. I've been adding colostrum to mine and CBD powder. Yeah.
Good combo.
It's over 75 vitamins, minerals, whole food source, superfoods, adaptogens, prebiotics, probiotics. What I'm saying is it's got stuff in there for immune support. You don't need to take all those vitamins. You can stop all that, stop spending all that money, stop peeing out all that money, and start taking AG1. Because they're constantly designing and redesigning. They just put out a new version. I think just a couple of weeks ago, I got an email because they're always testing it and making it better and better. I want to say I read that they've done that over 50 times.
They keep reformulating it. I love a company that continues to make their product better.
I do too. And so that it, has maximum absorption. You're not going to pee a neon color after you have AG1. It's pretty incredible.
That's true.
Also, I don't...
Can confirm.
It really does help with immune support, sustained energy. I've told you guys I take mine before I work out now. Back in the old days, I would take pre-workout. And then right when I started grinding my teeth enough, I would go work out. And this is, like a junkie on the corner. This is not that at all. This is actually good for you. And it's all stuff that your body needs that's hard to get in your body every day. It's impossible, actually. So when it comes to your health, you want something that you can trust. So that's why we do AG1 with science-backed ingredients and real benefits I can feel. AG1 makes it easy to support overall wellness. That's why we've been using it, I think 2 years now.
2 years now, yeah.
AG1 is offering new subscribers a free $76 gift. When you sign up, you'll get the welcome kit, a bottle of D3K2, and 5 free travel packs in your first box. Go check out drinkag1.com/Titus to get this offer. That's drinkag1.com/Titus to start this year on a healthier note.
Yep, great. AG1's great.
Special election outside of Pittsburgh got a lot of attention because both parties held 101 seats. And the Democrat, a retired police officer, easily blew the Republican out of the water.
In a Republican district.
Flip the district, yes. Then there was another one in Pennsylvania where a Democrat won, and a Democrat has never been competitive there. I'm trying to find which one this was. James Malone on a state Senate seat this was a
bright red district
that went for Trump by 21 points.
Well, we can't.
15 points there. The Iowa race also got national coverage. It was held in a district thought to be a GOP stronghold. Trump won there by 21 points. The Democrat candidate flipped the state Senate seat from red to blue. A Democrat in Minnesota won a state legislative special election, giving the party a majority in the state Senate. These are all red, true red, longtime red districts. So maybe
the Pennsylvania thing. So when they say Trump won Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania was a swing state, and there's all this weird anomalies, and I think we talked about it. We've talked about it before in the election. You guys got to look it up, man. It's crazy how. Again, I've said it before. 1.2 trillion to 1 that Trump won all 7 swing states, and if you look at the data of the elections, you're going to go, how the fuck? That's impossible. How many people voted on just for Trump and they didn't fill out the rest of their ballot?
Yeah.
It's all nuts. Yeah. Now, I wonder if this is going to be like the Kennedy assassination, where for 60 years,
right?
Like 60 years. Because don't you guys know at the end of whenever something like this happens, if it's this nuts, because if you look at what the Democrats haven't gone after this, which is weird because Trump had cyber ninjas and everybody, we knew nothing happened. Even all this Secretary of States were like, we're like, no, there's no, we've checked it. There's no anomalies.
Well, there could be easily, they'd have dismissed it because they didn't want to appear.
Unless, and here's my unless. Yeah. Okay, here's my unless. Yes, they didn't want to appear. They don't want to call. We want to.
They did.
We want to honor the norms.
Right.
Unless everyone else. Because listen, if we're dummies and we noticed it, they have to have noticed it. Yeah. They have to notice it. So the only thing I can think of is Mark Kelly, guys like that know something's up. Are what you don't do to your enemies? You don't show them your hand, right? So here's my pray, here's my hope, here's my please God, that somewhere there are people analyzing this data, and at one point there's going, but what do we do? Let's say whatever the three lettered agency is, the NSA, whatever, is looking at it and going, we found it. That's the only reason the Democrats would be quiet about it.
I don't believe that.
Because they were weirdly quiet,
They let all these people get into power now and run those agencies and gut those agencies.
And fire all these people.
We would have stopped it by now. We'd have stopped. They should. But what if they? But here's the problem. What do you? Okay, let's see. Find that out. Let's say. By the way, these are welcome to Conspiracy with Christopher Titus, and I'm very excited. So let's say that we have the NSA, CIA, whatever agency we don't know, is looking into this and said, look, man, we got anomalies. They're already reporting it. Reporters are finding it in Nevada. They're reporting it in Nevada. Then there's another guy, I saw a video, I think we'll talk about it more next week, but we talked about a video where a guy, I watched it, it was 40 minutes, where a guy went down all the data, and it's so weird that he was like, this guy's a total dork. He's not yelling and screaming like me. He's just a dork giving you facts. So what do you do? So let's say they prove it. Let's say the data is there that the election was manipulated. Elon Musk, Trump admitted it. We played it at the beginning of the thing. He admitted it. I didn't think I was going to get the 26. We get the World Cup, and then we get the Olympics in 28. I didn't think it was going to happen, but then they rigged the election, and then here we are. I'm sorry. What did you just say, Grandpa? So what do you do? If you find that out, do you go to military? You go to the generals and go, hey guys, here's what we got. That's a coup. You have to start a coup
I
then,
would
right?
say you would stop it before he moved his fat ass into the White House.
What if you didn't know then though?
Like now, let's say you found out now.
What if you couldn't prove it then? And that was only a month. That was a month and 10 days.
They've got
they didn't want to say anything like he did to start casting doubt, start having people go, wait a minute.
Okay. All
they
right.
got very quiet. In fact, Biden's so quiet. Is he dead? Where is he?
No, he said something yesterday. He said something yesterday.
Trump just stripped both of them of their security clearances.
Such a petty bitch.
So, yeah.
But wait, so no, I'm just put your brain out there. I get what you're saying. Why not say anything? They haven't said anything.
My brain is out there.
That is true. I can verify. What do we do if that's the case? Because as Ken said, and this is what I guess Ken said, they always are doing what they're accusing everybody else of, which is from Hitler. It's Goebbels. That's literally Goebbels said. So. It's rigged election. So if it actually was a rigged election, that's another thing too. This thing I watched, he said they go to the 2016 election with with Obama. And the data across the states is about the same. It's like it varies. It's chaotic. It's like voting's chaotic, district by district. Red people, blue people, it's district. Then in 20, it changed to where there was this thing at 250 votes per machine. The voting changed. The numbers changed. Then in 2024, it changed again to even more so. So my question is. And Elon knows the machines, quote, that's a quote from Trump. Elon's was, let's say they find it. How do you go about fixing it? You couldn't.
Well, you couldn't. And also, I don't know if you could prove it because, there's a whole conspiracy theory about Starlink. And oddly enough, a lot of hurricanes happened in natural disasters in swing states. And at that time, it was reported that Starlink sent equipment to these states to help them while they were having power outages and internet down and stuff like that.
They sent a lot of raincoats and galoshes and Vessi shoes.
The Vessi shoes. Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, why don't we do that ad now?
Starlink distributed equipment to help people regain internet access in hurricane hit areas.
You're just adding to the conspiracy, which is awesome.
Yeah, I'm helping you.
Do you know how happy I am right now?
So they sent Starlink terminals to Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, Virginia, and West Virginia.
Wow.
What the fuck?
So that I'm just telling you.
But not Michigan, though. Not Michigan.
Right. So I don't know. And I don't know if they did or not.
That's the creepiest shit ever, man. If I was in QAnon right now, I would be selling merch.
Yep. Now, let's say if you had that information, like to your point, they've control all of the branches of the government and the Supreme Court. So you're kind of boxed in. Like you have this information and be able to prove it and go, yeah, but nobody's going to take this. Where do you go? How do you get this? How do you get this
now?
To take off?
Right. There's they don't have any branch of the government, so they couldn't do anything.
But North Carolina's voting machines are not connected to the internet.
Okay, so
what
I'm they said was
state law prohibits connecting voting equipment.
What I read, what I saw on this guide ET, this election investigation thing. They said that all it would take is you program the machines with an algorithm. So at a certain number of votes, it changes through 2% or 3% to the other candidate. Here's what I don't understand. We all know how you can fuck with electronic stuff, right? And this is another thing. Trump also said he hated, remember? Mail-in voting is fake. We can't do mail-in voting. Well, because you can't, because mail-in voting is counted by hand.
Yeah.
It's not machine counted. You can't change it.
Starlink technology was used in Tulare, which he won with 60% of the vote. Of course, I've been to Tulare. And
that's possible.
That's possible.
There's like 4 people there.
Yeah. 3 of them voted for Trump. And
so if there was a possibility, I'm just saying that it was so quiet after the election from the Democrats, and they could just be because Democrats are lame when it comes to fighting. They'll help you, but boy, when it comes to fighting these assholes, they're like, I don't want to. What would we do? Like, I don't know. How do you mobilize? A, how do you get it out there? B, how do you mobilize people to stop it? C, how do you arrest the people that did it? Especially when it's the richest man in the world and the guy who's currently sitting in the White House with the House and the Senate on his side. And the Supreme Court.
You got to go little by little by like what AOC and Bernie are doing to hold these rallies, get people to see what's happening with these big crowds. And then you got to start flipping seats. You got to start, changing.
Midterms.
Yeah. Start tackling local stuff.
Okay, here you go. Let me give you one more thing.
All right.
But none of this is true.
None of this is true. This is us.
And
this is us having fun.
This is a secure election.
This is my most fun podcast.
On November 10th. A Starlink satellite re-entered Earth's atmosphere heading southeast from Washington to Texas and exploded. The satellite, I guess these re-entries happen often. This one happened to happen on November 10th. According to SpaceX, they removed this particular satellite from operation on August 2nd. At which point the satellite started lowering its orbit.
out came a bunch of Trump ballots.
But on November 10th, the satellite
what is happening right here?
Exploded. A lot
Make
of
America
people
what again?
in the Southwest reported seeing the fireball as it re-entered. So were they destroying
the one that was sending all the people? How I am changing votes now. Dave, do not vote for that, Dave.
That's from a movie.
Here's a statement
very old movie. I feel
on
very
a
old.
site that's trying to say it's not possible. Although there is and has historically been a strong correlation between votes cast for president and senator, it's not ironclad. Voters are free to choose candidates from different parties for different offices. Because so many Democrats won down ballot races, but Trump, yeah.
So that's what I've been saying. And how? Do me a favor. Look up how many ballots were where it was only the top. How many ballots were it was just Trump?
Well, that's the other thing. They said a lot of them they just voted for him and
one
not
guy, and they didn't vote anybody else.
That makes absolutely no sense.
Because even dumb people just go Republican.
Yeah,
Republican.
because if you want the top
even
guy,
dumb people, yes,
if you want the top guy, you want the other guy, the underlings too, because that supports the top guy.
Right.
So you want to go.
Then that's
you
how you
solidify
get what you want.
Exactly.
That's how you get what you want.
Yeah. Because you get the stuff locally.
Another thing to worry about is that we're hurtling towards a financial crisis.
Yes.
So when Trump came in, he said he wanted to pause the debt ceiling or get rid of it entirely.
Yep.
Now the debt ceiling deadline it's happening. It's upon us with Doge doing whatever they're doing. The U.S. government technically breached the debt ceiling on New Year's Day. At that time, outgoing Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen authorized what she called extraordinary measures to keep payments flowing without breaching the legal limit.
Oh, this is what.
It cannot be used indefinitely. Yes, on a day ominously called the X date, that's when the U.S. government will no longer be able to borrow money to cover its bills. And will no longer have full faith and credit.
But isn't that what Schumer just approved? Isn't that what they just voted through? The Bipartisan Policy Center on Monday projected that the X date will hit sometime between mid-July and early October if Congress doesn't act. They're due to release their own forecast today, the Congressional Budget Office, to say when that will happen if nothing gets handled. Can we talk about Congress then? Because this has gone on. And this is
Let me say one more thing.
Yep.
The Congressional Budget Office also said if collections from tax season fall far short of expectations, there's a potential for a heightened X-date risk in early June. Well, he's gutting the IRS, and they've just fired, 1,300 IRS agents. And what I thought was, that's going to make tax season a bitch. It's going to be so much harder to get anything done on our taxes or get a return or get
a lot easier to cheat.
Process
to not pay. A lot easier to not pay your taxes is what that's
get away
gonna
with
do.
shit. Yeah.
If you don't got a bunch of people calling people and going, "Where's the money?"
The audits go way down.
Yeah. If you don't have,
they're already saying that they expect a decrease of more than 10% in tax receipts by April 15th compared to last year, but also California's, and I wonder if some of those hurricane hit states as well got a deadline, extended deadline because of the fires and stuff.
They're also closing FEMA,
which is perfect.
Yes,
climate change is upon us. Mm-hmm. California could have earthquakes at any time. We've got
your voters' houses flying away.
We got floods worldwide.
They're expecting 20% of IRS workers to be fired within the next month.
So that we're we're fucking hurtling towards a cliff, and they're not doing anything. I want to talk about Congress because this goes back a long time where Congress keeps kicking the can. We haven't had it. When was the last time we passed an actual budget? Can you look that up? When was the last time Congress passed an actual budget? I think it goes back to Clinton. I think Clinton got a balanced budget. Yeah. When was the last time Congress actually
August 1st, 2019, the Bipartisan Budget Act of 2019.
And it got passed. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we haven't passed the budget in 6 years.
The last time the U.S. had a balanced budget had a surplus was 2001.
There you go. That's what we're thinking. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. How the fuck do we keep electing these assholes that don't even know how to run it? How do we keep fucking doing this?
The last shutdown was 35 days long.
That was Trump too. That was under Trump, right? Longest shutdown ever.
Yep. When was the last time the U.S. was debt free?
1902.
The Pilgrims?
He's like the
Oh,
worst
wait, no.
student. You ask a year and he goes, Pilgrims. I know what kind of student
the
he
Santa
was.
Maria and the
Pinto.
Pinto.
The Pinto and the Santa Johnson.
What do you think? Pilgrims.
I want to say
I got
balanced budget.
No, debt-free.
Debt-free. Oh, debt-free.
I got one. I know. I'm gonna.
Eisenhower?
Nope. 1850.
Oh, you're so close.
No,
You're
good for you.
actually way more in the ballpark. 1835 under Jackson.
Oh, so it doesn't even count. Like,
It's the
what the
only
fuck?
time in history that the national debt was fully paid off.
Holy
so
shit!
so
How the
it's
fuck is
horseshit.
that possible? How do they expect us to pay our bill? How do they expect us to fucking not be in debt all the time?
200 years we
Andrew
haven't paid a bill.
Jackson
Wait.
was
We
a
haven't balanced-
strong advocate against debt and believed that it was
How
a
the
moral
fucking power
failing. So he sold federal land, blocked spending bills, and vetoed programs for national highways.
Our credit score is terrible.
We have a 30, not a 300, a 30.
It was
It is in the
short-lived
red.
as the
That's only
government
'cause he spelled the
surplus
name right.
was then distributed to state banks, which later led to the Panic of 1837, and the government had to resume borrowing money.
So if we had, the reason I was saying is because the Civil War got out of control, and that's where I thought that's where it got out of control. But 1835, Jesus, what the fuck?
It's just a money game now.
200 years.
Yeah, it's not even real.
It's not even real. It's just like,
200
print some more money, and then we're good.
I love that when they go, because that is a weird thing. You go, well, we owe China 800 billion. Come collect.
Exactly.
What country?
Oh, we go, come get it.
What
roll up,
country is
bitch.
in the most debt? The United States. Highest national debt in the world, and is also one of the countries with the highest debt to GDP ratio.
You know, I'm so tired of hearing people chant USA, USA,
Yeah.
with having zero evidence that we are the best. You know, when people say the strongest country, best country in the world, no, we got enough bombs. We can blow shit up.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to education, when it comes to healthcare, when it comes to our balanced budget, holy shit, man. When it comes to our food health, when it comes to the chemicals we put in our food, we are like literally in the 50s, 60s, 70s.
Our life expectancy has dropped.
We're like 40th or 80th with life expectancy. That's America, motherfuckers. And everyone keeps going, USA. And just to be clear, my family's been here since 1635. I want it better. But nobody will do anything.
But they cheer USA, USA based on the stuff that they don't follow, based on all this, the greatness that it purports to be. But they don't even follow it.
But we're not
Makes
even
no
the best.
sense.
But also Hegseth with his little pocket square American flag.
Yeah.
Have you seen that he's now had custom made bright blue suits so that when he steps off the plane and the wind blows, inside are red and white stripes?
He's like Homelander.
It's so embarrassing. It
Do you know,
is so
because he's a TV
embarrassing.
guy. It's all about, all these assholes. It's not about
His little
substance.
tattoo that he
It's
always
not,
rolls his
it's
sleeve up
the
for.
Nazi tattoos. Yeah.
Those are
the
No,
allowed.
I mean the We the People.
the white supremacists. He's got one that does Volt on it, which is a full-on Christian nationalist Nazi tattoo.
If you have an autism tattoo, you're out.
Did
Okay.
you hear? Oh,
But if you have-
when we were talking about that, one of the guys that got sent to El Salvador got arrested
Oh.
because he had an autism tattoo because he has a relative or his
Yeah.
brother.
Oh, so that's how they could stay in the country.
It's a ribbon.
Just add
It's a ribbon. It's not gangs don't have the ribbon tattoo. That's not the
Yeah.
It's a tier. It's a bullet.
But
hole.
they could just add like a like a swastika or something, and you'll
I'm-
be able to stay.
All right, let's do the other ad. Go ahead.
This episode brought to you by True Classic.
Oh, they're great.
Because it is impossible. Look at those guns in that shirt. It is impossible to find clothing that you could wear to the gym and then go out to dinner in, or go to the grocery store and then also have it hug
Swipe.
your
Look
guns,
very handsome.
taper at your
sorry,
waist.
is that a tricep? I think it is through the shirt.
And
What?
normally you wouldn't be able to see that through a shirt.
And
Love
the
'em.
pants. The pants are great too.
The pants are
Got those.
super
Nice
awesome
pant.
too. Pant. They have Pima Crew short sleeve comfort knit buttons up, comfort knit chino shorts, twill shorts. They now have swim trunks coming out. They have everything. What we mostly love about them is how the fabric feels. They have
funny ads too.
They have very funny ads.
I love their ads.
They also have items that are moisture wicking, odor fighting, quick drying, antimicrobial. But more than anything, we love how they fit.
I put on this shirt today. I never know what ads we're going to run. I just know that we're going to get stuff. And I put it on. I was like, hell yeah. It's like they're just
made them
tight in the right place.
More fitted in the arms and the chest, and then give you a little more room in the stomach, which I think
I don't need right now because of fit
opposite. Other shirts are like big boxes on your arms and then tight right here, and you look like a cube.
Or they just keep it all the same shape, and then you just look like a bleh.
You need to think of excuses to go see all of your exes in their true classic shirts.
Yes. And it's really high quality stuff but at an affordable price. And you can bundle stuff now and save even more money. They do 3, 6, and 9 packs. So mix and match, and also free shipping. And they have 100% perfect fit guarantee. So whether you're bundling up for the cold, getting ready for spring, level up your style with clothes that actually fit right. Just go to our link at trueclassic.com/Titus to save. That's trueclassic.com/Titus. Shop now and elevate your
Some
wardrobe.
of my favorite t-shirts, honestly.
Yep, same.
I like the Henleys too. And I like this is one of my favorites that I have. I have them in smalls. The long sleeve crew. I love. It's like the softest. I like the joggers. It's just you just got to try.
Good stuff.
All my other shirts are now sad. Like I have to compare them to that shirt.
And they don't fade or stretch. It's weird.
But that's true though. Like I'll grab just a t-shirt one day and put it on and it doesn't fit right. And I'm like, this fits. It's weird now, right? Yeah.
And you're scratchy.
Demoted.
This is the most. By the way, just so you know, as we sit there and really start to analyze, but I think this thing with Hegseth, and it's not even. It's the ineptness of everybody. Like when Trump was president the first time, there was so many people around him that like I could go, okay, that guy's not going to let it go sideways. There's nobody like that now. Manafort got arrested early. Cohen got in trouble. You know, we had Robert Mueller going after him, so he had to kind of watch his P's and Q's a little bit. And now it's fucking nobody, man.
Everybody on that Signal thread has the only guy who had integrity on it was the fucking guy from the magazine,
reporter,
the Atlantic.
The Atlantic was like, "Hey guys,"
and all of their titles were like, security person,
head of intelligence,
intelligence. None of those things happened.
This crew, you should not be able to use the word intelligence.
Do you want some things that were done this week?
Oh God, yes. Let's go. Thank you.
Told the Attorney General and Homeland Security Secretary to sanction law firms who file lawsuits that the administration dislikes. He has really gone after private law firms this week.
And they're folding like bitches.
Yes, they are.
And here's the thing.
Executive orders about private law firms.
This is how we ended up in World War II. Because Germany went crazy, said he was going to do it. No one stood up, and they just kept fucking rolling.
Called for the impeachment of a judge who ordered a temporary stop to the use of a 1798 law for deportations. The
1798 law, just so you guys know that you're going, he has every right to do that. It's actually a law that's only supposed to be invoked during wartime. Wartime.
Signed
We're not at
an
war.
Executive order to dismantle the Department of Education while flanked by children sitting at school desks. You were very upset about this.
This is the most Orwellian shit ever. He's signing a thing to end the Department of Education surrounded by children sitting at desks. It's like, dude, why don't you just fucking punch a child?
Yeah,
you know?
it
like,
is the most gaslighting
it is such
thing.
A fuck you to everybody.
Accidentally added a journalist to a group chat. On Signal. Used policy and security to enter the U.S. Institute of Peace as part of a Doge effort to take control of the nonprofit and then gut it. So he's getting rid of the Institute of Peace.
It's a private nonprofit organization, and Doge just went in and took it over.
I said policy and security, sorry. Police. Used police to enter the U.S. Institute of Peace.
It's not a government agency.
Correct.
It's just an agency.
So that Doge could enter it and gut it. fired the 2 Democratic commissioners on the FTC in what appears to be a violation of a Supreme Court decision from 1935.
Do you feel like Putin just sent a Christmas list?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't it feel like it was just like, by the way, when you get to by the way, 60 days. I want this done within 60 days, okay? And don't fuck me or I will fuck you.
I got all your names of the deaths that are on next to everyone.
Holy shit.
Ended Secret Service protection for Biden's children. Appointed retired Mike Flynn, who pled guilty to lying to the FBI to an oversight board for West Point. So Flynn's back. Began planning tariffs on trillions of dollars in imports. Removed a ban.
By the way, I want to remind people,
wow.
guys, it's not everybody seems to know what a tariff is or what they do.
Still.
The entire Great Depression
Yes.
was started because of the Smoot-Hawley tariff vote, and they're nowhere near what this fucker's putting on. Today, we just read this before we started the podcast. Did you know that Canada has cut all, they get when you buy an electric car, they give you the kickback. Canada just cut them.
They also pulled all American whiskey off of their shelves.
Empty by Canadian.
How's that going, Mitch McConnell's state?
How do you piss off Canada? Like I keep asking, how? Like they're
getting advisories to not cross the border.
No. They actually,
Mexico too.
I see on all the people that follow me, the Canadians, because they keep asking us to come out and do shows. They fucking like we're not coming to the U.S. anymore. Mm-hmm. This guy. I wish you guys could wrap your minds around how it's not just he's a bad president. It's evil. There's evil, and there's a connection to the Russians that is inexplicable. I don't get it. Mm-hmm. I don't get what the fuck's happening, mm-hmm. and why. And the only way I keep asking for a reason. They keep saying the Biden administration fucked it up. Well, the Biden numbers were fucking awesome. If you look at the numbers, we had the lowest unemployment for the longest time in 50 years. If you look at the Biden numbers, when Biden took over, the stores were empty. Within 2 months, the stores were full and we were all vaccinated. If we can go over with infrastructure, people like say Trump sent you money. Trump didn't send you money. Mm-hmm. That was Biden sent you that money. Right. The Inflation Reduction Act reduced inflation. When is the last time you had a government fucking law do what the law was named after? It's always Orwellian and the opposite. So when they keep talking, Biden fucked it up. No, actually, Biden.
They just keep saying.
You do understand that Ukraine, this country and here's what's fucked up. This is we want to hear the most fucked up thing we did. We convinced Ukraine to give up their nuclear weapons.
Yep.
In exchange for us protecting them, mm-hmm. in exchange for us helping them in case they were invaded by Russia. Mm-hmm. And now you've got fat fuck comes in and he won't honor that deal. Again, I say, why would any other country in this world trust us ever again?
They don't. They already don't. He removed a ban on segregated facilities and federal contracts.
Oh my God.
That ban was obviously put in place in 1965.
This is my most depressing podcast.
Announced that Boeing just won a contract for a new fighter jet to be named the F-47 after him. Announced a new requirement that Americans that want Social Security have to verify their identity online or in person, like all old people are really able to do.
The fighter plane's called the Felon 47.
That's funny.
It's a Felon 47.
Like FU-47.
Was wandering around the Kennedy Center because he appointed himself as the chairman and I guess had this bright idea by association and called and told them to release all of the documents from JFK assassination. Unredacted. Well, what he did in doing so by releasing these tens of thousands of pages of government documents, he also included the Social Security numbers of hundreds of elderly living people who were investigators at that time. And investigated, who are still alive. And probably retired from the CIA or whatever.
So listen, the Kennedy shit should have been released a long time ago, but to actually give everybody's personal information, what the fuck?
Don't redact it, he said.
What are you doing?
Planned to send Second Lady Usha Vance and a national security advisor to Greenland, whose prime minister responded calling the visit aggressive.
Oh, and then J.D. Vance said he wanted to go too.
Attempted to recruit corporate sponsors for the Easter egg hunt on the White House lawn. Said in an interview, Howard Lutnick
Hey,
said,
by the way, you want to sponsor the crucifixion? Come on down to the White House.
It's transactional too. That's to get favors, so they can buy favors. Any way to buy favors.
said in an
Subway is
interview,
going to sponsor. Yeah. By the way, come
we
on.
watched this. Howard Lutnick, the Commerce Secretary, said that his mother-in-law, if you stopped her Social Security, she wouldn't notice or complain this month.
His own,
sorry.
What, his own mom?
And so that mother-in-law. So that's how you do it. Elon knows this. You stop the money, meaning they're going to stop Social Security. And then the people that complain, there's the fraud. They're the people committing crime. And I thought,
if they make it to the phone, like they might just die.
yeah, no, my dad is calling. My father would be on the phone. He suggested that Tesla vandals are domestic terrorists and should be sent to prison in El Salvador. And then demanded that the governor of Colorado, this is North Korea shit, take down a painting of him that he said was poorly done and unattractive.
It did look like he had downs.
He said he
I
was.
will say, did you see the picture?
Yeah, I saw it.
It looked
He
like
said he
the
was
likeness is
speaking on
closer.
behalf of the people in Colorado
yeah,
who
no,
did not like.
No,
the
we
painting.
were like, yeah, that's what he looks like.
Exactly. We're just like, yeah, that looks pretty
but
close.
It did look a little. It did look a little downsy. I have to be honest with you. I've been just kind of hyperbolic about this is going to end the democracy. It's getting democracy. What he's doing, blah blah. Blah. And as we've gone down this list, we talked about today, Hegseth watching the ineptness of this entire fucking administration, and you said too, why are they still angry? They won. Why are they still
They're
angry?
all so angry.
They could
including family members.
Yeah, very angry.
Very angry.
Now-
and mad that you don't agree with them.
But
Mad that you're not saying it's great.
And if you tell them that, well, yeah, but here's why I don't think it's great, and you give them 5 facts, they lose their shit. And I think that comes down to they know deep down that this is the most inept, and they voted for the wrong guy.
The most corrupt.
Oh yeah, I don't even think it's inept. I think it's
Corrupt.
Yeah.
Criminal.
an evil criminal, and they supported it, and now here we are. So just
And there's
say
no way
you
out.
were wrong,
Yeah.
and let's all get
Let's
to
say
work.
you're wrong, yeah, and join up. Let's
Yeah,
put,
yeah.
and put
Yeah.
the jersey on. Put the
Yeah.
team on. Put the jersey on.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I-
You don't have to join my team,
No.
but we can all go together.
I think that's happening offline. I think that's
A
with those town
lot of
halls.
people are protesting.
Because
Yeah.
there's some overlap of like, yeah, we
Mhm.
agree on a lot of these things.
Here's how we know Republicans are pissed. In Republican districts, these pussies
Mhm.
in Congress won't have town halls.
Right.
And the ones that do, holy shit.
They aren't having them, and so the people are putting up cardboard cutouts and directing their questions and anger at the cardboard cutouts.
I love when people get creative.
And they
Well,
said, no more. Trump said, stop town halls. It's actors. It's crisis actors. You go see these town halls. These are some old country people.
Wearing
Yeah.
MAGA hats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And,
like-
and George Soros doesn't have this much money
yeah.
to
but
finance
you're
this
taking
much.
their Social Security. And so now they
That's all
woke
they
up.
have.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, it's too late, don't you think?
My dad said that today. I said, people live on this. He goes, well, I live on it. And I said, yeah, but you have an Aflac retirement and a military retirement. So while it would suck and bills would probably become
Big dent.
tight, you would still be able to buy food.
Right.
But these people, this is all the money they have. And a lot of
They
them,
depend on it.
this is all,
Yeah.
And they depend on it to eat.
Mhm.
And then he's shut down funding for
lights on.
food banks.
Keep the water on.
So, right.
Well, guys, just want you to know, so many times we'd say, what it would have been like to live through that time. We talked to
Here we
Grandma
are.
Jean about it all the time. What was it
The
like
Dust
to live-
Bowl,
the Great Depression. What was it like? World War II.
Yeah.
Welcome. We got shit to tell if we
Yep.
survive. If we survive, we're going to be able to tell some people some shit.
Yeah.
Guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Do me a favor. If you want to laugh your ass off for an hour and 40 minutes, go to ChristopherTitus.com. Download my special, Carrion Monsters. We could really use just the love. Also, Rachel's special, Alpha Chick, is out on iTunes right
It's
now,
out on iTunes and
as-
Spotify and everywhere.
as is Carrion Monsters. And if you want to get the Willing Bureau album, go to iTunes also, right? Or
Yes, sir.
willingbureau.com.
Either one.
Go add it to your Apple Music.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
or
don't,
your Spotify
guys, we don't
playlist.
ask you guys for anything, it comes to paying for the podcast or whatever. And we do a lot of research into it. So, we love the love. Thank you. Also, make the comments on the Armageddon update because I do read those and I will respond to you.
I don't
What?
even-
She doesn't read them. She can't take it. It literally makes her.
I don't think we all need to know what each other feel about everything in every moment.
We all have followers.
Yeah.
Just like Jesus. Guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Do me a favor. Be out there. Be your best. Do me a favor, just once a day.
Be your best.
Be kind to
Just
somebody.
use
I said, be your best. Damn it. Be kind to somebody. It seems to work. Let's try to change the narrative, because the narrative that we just went through today, my chest hurts.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. For myself, the lovely Bombshell Ray on the Highlander. Later.
Peace out.
There could be anyone.
Imagine if Jesus' disciples like heckled him like people on social media.
Yeah.
You suck. You didn't walk on water. You just swim fast.
Pontius
dick.
is like Pontius's profiles.
I just think like a duck.
Pontius P.
You're
366.
you're using your feet.